If you were to visit the hills of Sodor, along the lake and through the forests, you would find a little railway. Back in those days, it was ran by 2 engines. There was Skarloey, whose name means lake in the woods, and Rheneas, which means divided waterfall. Back in those days, they were rather understaffed. Their controller also acted as guard, while their son was a fireman. Their head engineer would also act as driver if needed. Despite this, they got on well and were good friends with the local villagers. They know everyone, and everyone knows them. Unfortunately, there would be times where people who didn't know them or their ways would come to their railway and cause issues. One morning, Skarloey and Rheneas were sitting in their shed, waiting for the day to begin. Their fires had been lit, and as they were waiting for their boilers to warm, their crews, along with the Finn controller, Mr. Sam, and the head engineer, Mr. Hugh, were having a chat. The wife has been sleepwalking again. Found her this morning in the tool shed. She'd eaten all of the cereal in her sleep. I had to have toast for breakfast. I bloody hate toast. You should probably get that seen to. I don't think it's right to do it that much. Tried telling her, but she's a stubborn old goat. Don't worry, I'll drag her to the doctors one day. The engines listened with interest. Skarloey was concerned. Sleepwalking? So you just start walking about the place in your sleep? Yes, and from the sounds of things, it happens to Driver's wife quite a lot. Oh dear. I would hate to have that happen to me. I would be frightened. Imagine falling asleep and then waking up somewhere completely different. Don't be daft. It's not like you can go anywhere without your driver or fireman. I suppose so, Rheneas. Okay everyone, time for work. Peter, we're going with Rheneas. Clive, you and Skarloey will take the morning passenger run, and I'll be in my workshop. Call me if you need anything. And so the day's work began. Skarloey set out with his morning passenger train. The journey to the top station went without issues. Unfortunately, he wasn't feeling too great on the way back. An unusual rattling sound could be heard. His coaches twittered anxiously to each other. Agnes, the leader of the 5, spoke up. I say, what's going on at the front, Skarloey? I'm not sure, Agnes. Probably just a loose rivet. Nothing to worry about. Well, I hope so, Skarloey. I would hate to be marooned on the main line. Skarloey struggled all the way to the end of the line. When he got back to Crovan's gate, he was rather sore and uncomfortable. We need to examine you, Skarloey. Unfortunately, we can't until your boiler is cooled. It might take a while, I'm afraid. Oh, I understand, sir. Rheneas was called down from the slate quarry and arrived to take the next passenger train. Meanwhile, Skarloey sat in the yards, cooling down. He decided to go to sleep while he waited. Meanwhile, at the station, 3 children arrived at the platform. They were very cross when they realised they'd missed their train. Damn it! How are we meant to get to the lakes now? Maybe we should just go home. Oh man. The 3 kids decided to go and loiter around the yards, annoyed that their fun day out had been ruined. Just then, they looked over and saw Skarloey sleeping in the shed. Huh. You thinking what I'm thinking? What? Oh yeah. Oh no. The troublesome trio walked over to Skarloey. The oldest one hopped into the cab and checked the gauges and temperature. It still has a little bit of steam. And how do you know that? My dad drives on the big railway. I know what I'm talking about. Yes, let's go! This is a bad idea. We can't just take this engine out on a joyride. Oh, shut up. Come on, lads. You can shovel, and you can keep a lookout. And I will be driving. Oh, yeah. I'll be your fireman. And so, with the youngest of the 2 boys shoveling coal into Skarloey's fire, and the oldest working the controls, Skarloey slowly started to roll out of the sheds. He was going so slowly that he didn't even wake up. However, his low puffing caught the attention of his driver and fireman, who hurried out from the back of the sheds in surprise. There was Skarloey, puffing towards the platform and out onto the main line. "Hey, stop! Come back here!" The girl looked back and saw the driver attempting to run towards the train. Go, go! And so, the oldest child opened the regulator and Skarloey steamed off down the line. "Come back!" But the children didn't want to come back, and Skarloey was still fast asleep. The driver sighed and turned towards the fireman. "We'll have to get Mr. Hugh." "Oh, he won't like that." And he didn't. Ivo, we got to speak to your dad. "Oh, okay." "What?" "Right, everyone, get in the lorry." Surprisingly, the children got rather far down the line. The boys laughed and joked, while the girl looked out of the cab anxiously, and all the while, Skarloey snored in front. Soon, they were coming towards the first station. "First station, boys, here we come." But that was not the case. Guys? Mr. Hugh, along with Skarloey's crew, stood along the line side. "Go, go, go!" "No, no, no. We can't go back to the detention room." Skarloey's driver had a shunter's pole out over the rails, and Mr. Hugh was standing close to the line, practically ready to jump the engine. The children tried to add more steam, but it was no good. Skarloey's driver readied himself to try and derail the engine, but he didn't have to. There! What on earth? Whatever had been loose on Skarloey had finally broken, causing the engine to derail. The three men jumped into the cab, cornering the three children, while Skarloey sat on the ballast, completely baffled. "How did I get here? Who's responsible for this? Ask these hooligans." "We only wanted to get to the lake." "Please don't tell, I didn't even want this. Please don't tell my dad." "Oh no, this is serious. You three are going into the waiting room. I'm calling your parents. My son Ivo will keep an eye on you." The three children's protests were drowned out as they were forcefully shoved into the waiting room by Mr. Hugh. Meanwhile, Skarloey's crew were trying their best to calm down their engine as Mr. Hugh went off to find a phone. "No, no, no, no. What do we do? What do we do? It's fine, it's fine. We'll find a way to get out of here." "Oh, ho, ho. If you think my dad is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet." "What?" "Hi, I'm Ivo Hugh. I'm keeping an eye on you." Skarloey soon calmed down. He was re-railed with the help of his driver, along with his trusty shunter's pole. He then slowly clanked home. That evening, Mr. Hugh, as well as his son, finally began to make the repairs that Skarloey needed. Rheneas soon arrived. He had already heard all about what had happened to Skarloey. "Looks like you did do a bit of sleepwalking after all, eh?" "Oh, don't. It was terrifying. One moment I was in the sheds, the next I was being jolted awake at Krasny Kurin." "Oh, don't worry, Skarloey. Perhaps it'll be better next time." "Oh, you!" Skarloey snorted crossly, while Rheneas laughed. He was quite determined that there would not be a next time. "Today's events have forever scarred me.